back into that Sean podcast. Oh. Is that a smooth one? The big Ush. And it's that Cat Daddy. Cat Daddy does not get his patented intro this time, because this is a fantasy episode. And the big Ush had to talk Cat Daddy off the ledge. Because Cat Daddy was about to just go Rochambeau on his whole freaking team.
I was preparing for all contingencies, and I needed to prepare myself if I lost this game and completely flouted the playoff race. Then,
but
being a keeper league, I need to start selling off some parts that have no value to me this year or next year.
Some of us have more faith than others. So
I'm still playing to win. I'm just going to get the most for my pieces that I can.
Cat Daddy, what's on your mind?
Feels good to snap a 3-game losing streak. That's what's on my mind.
2-game winning streak.
Oh.
Woo! As they go and as they say. Now we're going to get to the part that Cat Daddy's going to be very happy about, because the big Ush gave y'all some bad advice last week. We're going with our receipts, and unlike the other episode, Big Ush will go first. So, his QB of trust was Dak Prescott. You know something? That was good advice. It was all downhill from here. Next up, running back to trust was Devontae Williams. He did not produce the way we would like.
No, you know how I know that?
Because you have him.
He was on my starting lineup, yeah.
Next up was Russell Gage. He definitely didn't produce the way you would like.
Nope, I could have told you that one.
Woo! And now the third one, the last one. Pat Freiermuth. It's not my fault. I made this selection before I knew Mason Rudolph was the quarterback. I'm just going to let this be known that if I knew Mason Rudolph was going to be the quarterback, I would not have selected him. But at the same time, I own up to my mistakes, and that's a loss. Sean, who your trust did you gain wins?
I think I got 1 win. 3 losses for this, so this is a horrible week for the trust section. My quarterback to trust.
For both of us.
I know, this was a really bad week. My quarterback to trust was Carson Wentz, going against Jacksonville. 22 of 34, 180 yards, 0 touchdowns, but 0 interceptions.
That's not good.
And he got -1 rushing yards, so I'm taking a loss there. That was horrible. My running back to trust was James Conner, who ended up...
It's good. You did.
39 rushing yards, 25 receiving yards. Yardage wasn't there, but you know what he did get? That ever-important touchdown.
Yeah, good.
So that's the only one I'm taking in the trust section, because my wide receiver to trust was Deontay Johnson. And just like Pat Freiermuth, this pick was before we learned of Ben Roethlisberger missing.
So I think there should be an asterisk for both of them.
I mean, granted, Ben Roethlisberger hasn't been that good this season, so I will take this loss.
But at the same time, if we could have updated later in the week, you want to be honest? You would have said no.
No, just like the football picks. I'll take it. Whatever I pick when we record.
No, be honest.
Stick with it.
If someone came to you later in the week and be like, Ben Roethlisberger's not started, Mason Rudolph is, should I still start Deontay Johnson? What would you have said? No. You would have said no.
No, given the opportunity, I would not, because when we recorded, I chose Deontay Johnson. And
Based on the fact that Ben Roethlisberger was starting.
I know, but it wouldn't be fair to the people who are listening who are taking this advice if I change it up later on and just go for someone else. There's no way to
But at the
verify
same
him.
time, they need to understand that we are giving them advice based on the information we have at the time.
I know.
They need to be conscientious at the fact that if something changes with a starter, i.e., the quarterback changes, they need to change their freaking lineup.
I mean, Deontay Johnson still drew 13 targets. He still had 7 catches for 83 yards. So
Mason
yardage-wise,
Rudolph.
I know. What really hurt for Deontay Johnson was that fumble that he lost in overtime. That's what really hurt.
This is true. But I can't knock the player for trying to make a play.
No.
I get you. People got at me for this years ago. And I'm going to be honest about me as an irrational fan. But everybody knows about the Dez caught it. Dez didn't catch against Green Bay in 2014. And I flipped out saying if Dez would have just secured the ball and went down, then maybe they would have had the ball by the goal line, wasted some more clock, to not help Aaron Rodgers, and get the ball in the end zone, because it's not like the Green Bay Packers were stopping the rushing game at the time.
No, that was a good 8 years where Green Bay wasn't stopping the running game. Yeah.
But at the same time, who am I to stop Dez Bryant's passion? Who am I to say that Dez Bryant shouldn't have tried to get the touchdown? I don't get paid to play football. He does. And honestly, it was the right play for him to try to make the play. Just like Deontay Johnson, it was the right play for him to try to make some plays.
Yeah, it was.
Now, note, should he have held on to the ball? Hell yes, he should have. When I watched it, I was like, oh my God! But at the same time, this is what happens.
I know.
This is professional sports. Deal with it.
He still had the targets. He still had the receptions. He still had the yardage. Just the end result. So I do not regret Deontay Johnson, nor did I want to go back and change it. It's just one of those. All right, he's still a stud. Let's see how this rolls.
You want to know what my biggest issue with regular fans is? Regular fans act like defensive players don't make plays. Like defensive players don't get paid. Or players on other teams don't get paid. They want to act like I see it all the time with the Cowboys. You want to see the most toxic fan base in the world? First is Philly, then it's the Dallas Cowboys. You want to see a fan base hate their team more than anything? Watch the Dallas Cowboys. Any other team, you see them like defend their team undeniably irrational. You want to see a team hate their team? Watch the Dallas Cowboys. That's all I gotta say. Because you see situations with the Dallas Cowboys where fans, but like, oh, that's a terrible drive. It's not that the defense made plays. It's that their offense was terrible. Because the defense never makes plays on their offense. I'm sorry, I had to freaking rant about that a little bit.
You did. So I take the loss with Deontay Johnson, but the losses continue for me because my tight end to trust this week was Mike Gesicki, who drew 7 targets, which is great when you're looking for a tight end. Like, I love volume with my tight end.
Jacoby Brissett can't get the ball to him.
I know. He drew 7 targets and he had 0 receptions. So that one
Woo!
Man, that one's a big L. I can't even avoid that one. So let's move on to the who do you not trust. Who did you have in that don't trust section?
Well, I had Baker Mayfield against the Patriots. and no. I don't want to hear people say Baker Mayfield didn't finish the game. Baker Mayfield wasn't playing good before he didn't finish the game.
He did.
So back off me, son. Then I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all can kick rocks on Jordan Howard. He had 83 yards. That's a loss. I'm sorry. It's a loss. 83 yards, no touchdown. Sean, am I wrong?
Yeah, the 83 yards is probably more than we're expecting for Jordan Howard.
But still a loss.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, where I take my loss, Justin Jefferson say, oh, you think I can't get more than a little bit against the Chargers? I'm a piss on your cornflakes.
Man.
Justin Jefferson came through over 140 yards. Oh my God. Justin Jefferson is like, I'm a god. Bow to me. And then, sorry, John. I'm sorry. Then Mark Andrews decided he was going to get a touchdown just to say, piss on that, punk. So both Justin Jefferson and Mark Andrews decided to make me a liar. Sean, your losses, did you any better than me?
Yeah, my don't trust section was actually a lot better. My quarterback was Teddy Bridgewater, who ended up with 226 yards, no touchdowns, no sacks.
No touchdowns is bad.
No touchdowns, no interceptions, yeah. If your league does individual defensive scoring, he almost got you a tackle, but he decided not to. So
let's not get started on Teddy Bridgewater making it dancing with Darius Slay. He was doing the tango.
Very short-lived one, yes.
Ole, 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 ole.
So I take the W with Teddy Bridgewater. The one I take the loss on was Christian McCaffrey. I was expecting PJ.
Christian McCaffrey went off.
Man, he hurt me too. He got 95 yards on the ground. There are 66 yards through the air.
He sat there and said, "This mother effer gonna defend me all off season.
He's gonna make me pick 1-1.
And when I get healthy,
and
you gonna jump off the bandwagon?"
I was just expecting to taper the expectations for his return.
Taper?
Man.
He said, "Taper this, punk."
I know. He really did. I mean, what would have hurt worse is if he would have gotten a touchdown, but he only got like 160 total yards.
He was that close.
I know.
That close.
So I'm definitely taking a huge loss on that one, but I recover with a quick victory because my wide receiver not to trust was Donovan Peoples-Jones. And I told you, don't go chasing waterfalls and don't go chasing last week's touchdowns. And guess what he did? 5 targets, 1 catch, 16 yards, 0 touchdowns.
And these are words to live by. Never, ever, and maybe I don't need some words to trust after this. Never, ever, ever trust a Michigan wide receiver. We learned our lesson with Braylon Edwards. He was Michigan, right? Not Michigan State.
Braylon was Michigan, I believe.
Yeah, never ever. It was Carlos Rogers who was Michigan State, right?
Charles Rogers. Yeah.
Yeah, never ever trust a Michigan wide receiver. That's all I say out loud, son. All right, what about your tight end?
And my tight end not to trust was Dalton Schultz because I warned you that Michael Gallup was going to be back. And guess what? Dalton Schultz drew 2 targets, catching one of them, 14 yards, no touchdowns. He ended up tied for 6th on the team in terms of targets. Michael Gallup saw 5 in his return. This is not a good sign for Dalton Schultz, so I warned you.
Michael Gallup was actually pretty awesome, except for that one drop pass. Anyways, to my pleasure and Sean's dismay, we're to my favorite part of the week. I bring up names to have Sean give his comments on if they are viable people to look at.
All right, who do we got first?
QBs, starting with QBs. Mike White.
No. Zach Wilson should be back soon. Mike White's time is over.
That is hard. That is a hard no.
Very.
Next up is a little bit more complicated for Sean.
Oh, man.
Justin Fields.
I like the idea of Justin Fields moving forward. Yes, I think the Bears have shown, at least with Bill Lazor running the offense, calling the plays, that they're going to do things that will actually work for Justin Fields. So I'm hoping they use the bye week, and I hope they used it wisely. They come out strong against Baltimore, so I like Justin Fields.
All right, we got some harder ones for you.
And give me some softball ones.
Trevor Siemian.
No. I don't like anybody who's going to be quarterbacking for the Saints, whether it's Taysom Hill, who may have more value because of his running ability, but Trevor Siemian, I don't trust that. Unless I'm in a 2-quarterback or super flex league, and it's like a 16-team league, and literally all the quarterbacks are being taken, and I got to pick Siemian off the waiver wire because literally need a quarterback. But no, I think he's very low-end quarterback too.
Last one. This is the most fun one. So much fun. Cam Newton.
Mixed feelings on Cam. Really mixed. I'm glad he found a team. He's a talented guy. For a Carolina offense that pretty much hit rock bottom, anything was going to be an improvement. Enter Cam Newton. Cam Newton is likely going to win the starting job. PJ Walker will not be able to fight him off. Until I see more, I am down on Cam Newton. I remember last year, his arm was not very effective. He had a lot of value when it came to running. He had a lot of value with rushing touchdowns. And I think that's where a lot of his fantasy value is going to lie. Watching him this weekend and the limited plays that he had, he threw 4 passes. None of those 4 passes traveled more than 6 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
Was he even far enough for it to travel far enough? I think he was on the goal line every time he was in the game.
There was at least one play, a passing play, where he wasn't on the goal line. It was further down the field.
So he took the check down.
It was incomplete. Yeah. So.
All right, next up.
Don't feel positive about Cam in the passing game.
We're going to go to running back.
All right.
First up, Boston Scott.
Boston Scott, man. I don't like Philadelphia. You got to give me Boston.
All right, after Boston Scott, Darrell Williams.
Isn't Clyde Edwards-Helaire coming back soon?
I don't know. Is he?
Thought he was going to. Hold on. I think Darrell Williams will depend on when does Clyde Edwards-Helaire come back.
I got two more for you.
Who we got?
A.J. Dillon.
Yes. If he is available in your league, which he shouldn't be, if he's available in your league, go pick him up. Aaron Jones will be out for 1 to 2 weeks. A.J. Dillon is quite literally the only running back on the Packers roster right now. And he's already shown in limited duty that he can get the job done running the ball and receiving the ball. I like AJ.
Lastly, one that I know you're going to love me talking about. You already know who it is, don't you?
Man, I'm going to guess Adrian Peterson.
Nope.
Good. You get
Ramondre Stevenson.
Finally out of the doghouse. Finally active. He led the Patriots in rushing attempts. He led the Patriots.
Not good enough for your patience.
He led the Patriots in rushing yards. He actually led the Patriots in targets. And he tied for the team lead in reception. So you're thinking, man, with all that volume there, but you know what comes to mind? How many times have we seen a small sample size of success from a Patriots running back, only for them to fall off the radar without any notice?
You talking about Bellatrix?
I'm talking about Bellatrix. I'm talking about where's Jonas Gray? LeGarrette Blount,
Lestrange,
Rex Burkhead, Stephen Ridley, Dion Lewis, Sonny Michel, right? Sonny Michel.
We gonna call that Harry Potter effect.
So,
that's our no. That's our new thing. Because the NFL Network's got Bellatrix. We gonna call it the Harry Potter effect.
Harry Potter effect.
Because Bellatrix is strange. You like it?
It should work. Yep, but I don't trust Ramondre Stevenson. I drafted him in my fantasy league. It's a deeper league, 12-teamer, and I ran out of patience after several healthy scratches. Yeah.
All right, so we got some other fun stuff for you. Wide receiver. First one. This one's near and dear to my heart. Unfortunate to my heart. Bryan Edwards.
Bryan Edwards, you would have thought that you would have taken the opportunity to.
You would thought.
You would, yeah, you would have. And
he played well in this game. He had some targets. He played well. But do we believe in Bryan Edwards?
Long term, no. I think it's one good outing. I don't think it's anything to rely on. As much preseason hype as he had, I don't like it.
Next up, I got Albert Wilson, the Miami Dolphins.
The guy who took all the good catches and receptions from Jalen Waddle.
He seems to be getting a lot of looks.
He did. He got... I'm trying to see how many targets he got this past game.
He only got 5 targets. But he had 2 rushing. And with that, his targets were more screen passes than anything. Because he's got a lot of speed.
Miami has too many wide receiver weapons, and the only ones that have shown to be trustworthy over a long period of time have been Mike Gesicki Womp womp. And Jalen Waddle. So I don't like the idea of Albert Wilson.
I got one
My
more for
team.
you. I have. Give me a moment. I'm looking for the first name. That is my bad. Everybody. Jamal Agnew.
Jamal Agnew. I like if you're in a deeper league, or if you're looking to catch lightning, shot in the dark, whatever your team needs wide receiver help. I like the idea of Jamal Agnew. As of late, it's been looking like he's been one of the only Jacksonville pass catchers who's been worth rostering outside of Dan Arnold. And the Jaguars are using Jamal Agnew in such a way that his value doesn't require Trevor Lawrence passing the ball to him. I think this past weekend he had a run or a couple of runs. And in our league, I actually picked him up a few weeks ago, and I ended up having to trade him to improve my roster, which I was really looking forward to Jamal Agnew. So I still like him.
Next up, Austin Hooper.
Austin Hooper. Let's see. If you're desperate at tight ends, then yes. I still think that David Njoku is going to have more value in that Cleveland offense. But Austin Hooper, if you're desperate.
All right, Albert O.
Oh, that one requires a health of no offense. He's a good option if Noah's out.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying he's going to be a good option if Noah's out. But if Noah's healthy, then it's clearly going to be Noah.
Lastly, Tyler Conklin.
Tight ends, I like volume. Yes, he scored twice this past weekend. And that's not why I like him. I like him because he's drawn 24 targets over the past 4 games. You could do worse than Tyler Conklin, like Austin Hooper.
All right, I'm about to surprise you.
No, man.
We're going to go to the IDP.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Alex Highsmith.
Oh, no.
He got 19.25 points in a standard IDP league as a linebacker.
If TJ Watt is missing time, he could fill in and take some of those pressures, tackles, sacks that TJ Watt would normally get. So while TJ Watt's out, okay, let's roll.
Levante David came back, got 17.75 points. Can we believe in Levante David to continue that reign?
Not that pace. Not that pace. Don't expect 17 points a week from Levante David.
Would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
All right, next up, and this is a name I know Sean loves. Marcus Davenport got 15.5 points this week. Had 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 3 tackles total. How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going. I like the New Orleans defense. I like pieces of the New Orleans defense. I like Davenport as part of the New Orleans defense, but I don't think I'm going to count on multiple sacks per week, let alone singular sack per week. But I like him.
So we're going to move on. Now, no, I will never bring up an IDP person that had a long touchdown. That is a skewed stack. That is a streaky stat.
Like Darius Slay.
Darius Slay, Xavier Howard. But I will bring up Cameron Byram. The last 2 weeks, he's had 16 points this week. He had 6 points last week. He has been pretty consistent. How do you feel about this guy?
He was somebody I was looking at in our league on the waiver wire. If Minnesota continues to be aggressive with their defensive backs, sort of like Miami's been, he could have that value of getting to the quarterback, getting a sack, because you don't really expect that from a defensive back too often.
Now, I do have a question. This is a different type of question. Jalen Ramsey. Is Jalen Ramsey a different type of player? Because when it comes to cornerbacks, if somebody requires cornerbacks in an IDP league, you normally want the cornerback who's not like an awesome cover guy. Because you want the guy who's targeted all the time. But what I've noticed this year, that Jalen Ramsey gets around the ball a lot lately. So is it how the Rams use him that makes him unique? Or a quarterback's just stupid?
Or you are indirectly saying that Jalen Ramsey is not an excellent.
Awesome?
It's not awesome. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it's weird because Jalen Ramsey is ever consistent week in, week out. One more for the cornerback position. Nate Hobbs. This is a rookie that's been a standout rookie, and he's actually been awesome in ADP. Averaging about 10 or more points per week. That is ridiculous from the cornerback's position.
Yeah, he's averaging, what, 4 tackles per game? Oh, let's see. He doesn't create turnovers, doesn't appear to have many pass defenses or interceptions. Depending on how the league scores, if you're looking for big plays, disruptive plays, he may not be good as far as coverage skills. He's given up, 28 on 32 targets. No touchdowns, though.
We have 3 more players to get at you on. Jimmy Ward of the San Francisco 49ers. He seems pretty consistent.
Jimmy Ward, what do we got? Northern Illinois, Jimmy Ward. There we go.
Oh, that's your guy.
My guy. Let's see. He'll get you a handful of tackles. He had 2 interceptions this past week. But it doesn't appear as though he has many passes defensed.
I'm just saying, he seems consistent.
With what?
Other than his goose egg against Arizona, he's got he had only the lowest he's had is 3 points, and the highest he's had is 20. But it looks like his average is about around 8 points per week.
Yeah.
That's not bad for IDP.
Getting a couple solo tackles in there. Yeah.
Now, that being said, I got some other guys to talk to you about.
Okay.
One, I'm going to leave the fun one for last. So the next one is the one you don't want to talk about.
Perfect.
Taylor Rapp. Looks like he's been pretty consistent the last couple weeks. What do you think of Taylor Rapp?
Taylor Rapp. I picked him up early in the season.
That's why I know you don't want to talk about him.
I know. Let's see. But for me, Taylor Rapp just wasn't. He wasn't performing up to where I expected him to be. He kept falling short of all the projections.
I get what you're saying.
He dropped a goose egg on me one game. I think he had no tackles, but he injured one of his teammates, which was interesting. He just seemed to be underwhelming, but this past week he came back with a solid 9 tackles against San Francisco. So he must have been upset at me for dropping him.
Now, the next one's a weird one. Godwin Igwebuike. He plays for the Lions.
All right, so he's running back, though.
Nah, we got him listed as a safety.
Really?
That's what Yahoo's got him listed as a safety.
Shoot, hold up. I need a safety in the Yahoo League. Hold on.
I'm not joking.
He's not going to have value as a safety at the defensive.
He's got 19.7 points this past week.
Yeah, it wasn't on defense, though. Let me tell you that. It was.
I know for a fact it wasn't on defense.
It was over.
This is why I want to talk to you about him. You look at his points: 1.5, 1.5, 0, 0, 1.75, 1.15, and then all of a sudden he explodes with 13.85, 19.75, or 19.70.
Godwin Igwebuike.
I could have sworn this kid ran the ball in as a fucking running back.
He did.
But it's telling me he's a safety.
Well, I know where my waiver wire is going.
This particular thing that I brought to your attention.
I do.
Go ahead.
Jamal Williams is injured, so behind DeAndre Swift is a little questionable, especially with Shamar Jefferson getting injured too.
You were very happy that I brought this to your attention, aren't you? Is it weird that I'm the only one who noticed this?
Yes.
All right, getting on to our trust and distrust from this week. And as you know, I'm the one who goes first. So my trust for this week, I have Joe Burrow facing the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas is reeling. I think that they're going to protect him enough to get his get the ball out to his playmakers. Running back, I don't give a damn who it is. Nick Chubb, Deontay Johnson, or whoever the Browns want to throw out there. If they want to fly in Sean Cummings to do his sprint thing, people realize this man was awesome at track and field. He wasn't just good. Cat Daddy was awesome. Just so y'all know. No, I'm gonna let y'all know. It'll take one good hit. He out the game.
For sure.
But if he never gets hit, he'll play fantastic.
You can't hit what you can't catch.
He had a particular nickname back in the day for a reason, because he could run. And we ain't putting that nickname out there. I don't put people on blast like that. Next up, my wide receiver to trust. I think Cat Daddy would agree with this one. CD Lamb. Michael Gallup's back. Amari Cooper is playing. Is there any slot receiver? I mean, is there any slot corner that can hang with CeeDee Lamb? If you think so, tell me.
Not on Kansas City's roster. No. No.
And then Jacksonville. I'm shooting my shot here. I could be wrong. My guy could explode the last 2 weeks and go quiet this week. But this is the best matchup he's seen in a long time. I got George Kittle blowing up against Jacksonville. Come on now, son. What'd you think of my trust? Any you disagree with?
Apparently I'm only getting like half of mine right, so.
Do you disagree with any of mine? Just wondering.
No, not right now.
All right, let's see who you got to trust.
All right, quarterback to trust. Patrick Mahomes. Now,
low hanging fruit.
I'm
that's okay.
not saying Kansas City will win.
No. I need parameters here. What's he gonna get? You pick Patrick Mahomes. I need parameters.
All right, so parameters, we're going 302 touchdowns.
Yards? 302 touchdowns? Okay. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Not even rushing, because I think he's going to get some rushing yards, but we're not even going to put rushing in there. 302 touchdowns. And any touchdown, any 300 yards he doesn't get, he can make it up with rushing yards.
So standard scoring, you're thinking 302 touchdowns is going to be 12 plus 8, 20 points. So
No. I agree with you.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
I'm going with him.
But
if he gets like 220 plus 80 rushing yards, that makes it up for it.
No, more than makes up for it.
Exactly. So move on.
Running back to trust, A.J. Dillon, Green Bay Packers. The Vikings are giving up a healthy 4.7 yards per carry on the season, and opponent running backs have been getting very involved in the passing game against the Vikings too. And right now in Green Bay, it's all A.J. Dillon. Jones is out.
I actually agree with this one.
Kylan Hill's out for the season. Literally the only running back option.
I actually agree with this one. I think the Packers are going to be up early. And I think there's going to be a lot of just fucking... dang, I'm cussing a lot. There's going to be a lot of drowning out the clock with A.J. Dillon this week.
I'm hoping so. He's on my roster.
For our pod.
Yeah, you are.
Come on, one more.
All right,
2 more.
2 more. Wide receiver to trust, Brandon Cooks, coming off their bye. Should be a good time.
You're taking a risk here.
I am. Tyrod Taylor has a chance to start. They get the Titans defense, which has been good about putting pressure on quarterbacks. But coverage, they've been a little generous when it comes to coverage.
They've been decent at coverage.
Yeah.
Tight ends, not so much.
I got Janoris Jenkins on my fantasy team. Okay.
When you got an idiot that wants to change his name legally
to Jackrabbit.
That's stupid stuff.
Well, they're going to pressure Taylor, but he should get some passes off to Brandon Cooks. Granted,
you got someone else on your fantasy team that you need to keep on your fantasy team. Do not trade this man. Let him wreck fools. You know what I'm talking about.
I do. Jeffrey Simmons.
All right, tight end.
Tight end. He is going to stay here until I get it right, which has been not last week and not the week before. Mike Gesicki against the Jets, coming off a 7-target catchless performance. He is staying in this spot until he earns out of it.
All right, my not to trust. Matt Ryan. This is the New England Patriots. I'm sorry, you threw up a stinker against the Dallas Cowboys. I love my Cowboys. But their defense is not the Patriots' defense. The Patriots' defense is the Patriots' defense. David's going to shut you down, Matt Ryan. Next up, I have Antonio Gibson versus the Carolina Panthers. Carolina actually did a really good job stopping the run last week. They've been actually good for most of the year. They weren't good against the Patriots. They weren't good against the Cowboys. Those are really good run teams. Other teams ain't so good. Team they playing on Sunday, Washington is not so good. So I'm taking the Panthers. My wide receiver to Sean's so dismay. I feel so bad. Devontae Smith, Philadelphia Eagles. I'm taking the respect off the name. Oh my God. Again, he's playing a team in the Saints that's really good against the pass. I don't believe in him this week. I think he's a very good player, but not this week. And then tight end, I picked Pat Freiermuth last week because I thought Ben Roethlisberger was playing. Ben Roethlisberger likes his tight ends. I don't care what Ben Roethlisberger likes. I don't care what Mason Rudolph likes. I don't care what Dwayne Haskins likes. It doesn't matter this week. Pat Freiermuth is not going to be good. Go ahead, Sean.
Quarterback not to trust. Jalen Hurts. Saints have recorded multiple interceptions in 4 games this season. Jalen Hurts.
Oh my God! What happened? Oh my God!
Saints defense has been good. They've been good against the run. I think Philly's going to struggle this week, and Jalen Hurts is not getting his. Running back not to trust, and this is not a hot take, Jonathan Taylor. Yes, the person who's tied for the league lead in rushing yards. Arguably one of the
This is a
best.
hot take.
A hot take is when you're doing it just for attention and clicks and views.
No. This is what a hot take really is.
Oh, the real
A hot
definition
take
of it.
shouldn't be for attention and views. A hot take is when you are saying something that is against the norm, but is a legit surprise.
Yeah.
You have given us a legit hot take. This is not for clicks.
Nope.
I wish it was.
Statistically, the Bills have been among the best run defenses in the league. However, they really haven't had any tests outside of Derrick Henry back in Week 6 when he had 143 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns on him. So they really haven't had many tests. The last 3 games, they've had the Dolphins, the Jaguars, the Jets. Now, I'm not telling you to bench Jonathan Taylor. I just think Jonathan Taylor's going to have a tougher day, as Indianapolis should be trailing, and Taylor may lose touches, opportunities on passing downs, meaning his rushing yards may not be as plentiful this week. So,
why didn't we put Michael Pittman in our to trust? All right, next up, your wide receiver.
Wide receiver not to trust.
I let the cat back out the bag.
Robbie Anderson. Yeah, I know. You Robbie Anderson owners, you were really excited when he got a touchdown pass this past weekend. But be prepared. Cam Newton is going to be the starting quarterback, which for me means Carolina will not be passing as much, and they're going to be using more of a running attack.
They might.
They might. I don't feel good about it.
No. Here's what I'm going to say. They might pass. Did you hear the back and forth about Cam Newton?
Nope.
Cam Newton had a lot to say about one of his receivers, which was not Robbie Anderson. It was DJ Moore. Called him Simba. And he's like, when I left, he was Simba. Now that I'm back, well, I don't know who he is. He ain't Simba no more, but I'm Mustafa. Saying that DJ Moore has evolved. But he didn't say nothing about Robbie Anderson.
Womp womp. Did you play with Robbie Anderson before? No, Robbie
Here's
Anderson.
the problem. Want to know the problem? I'm going to get loud. I'm sorry, Sean. Cam Newton. I'm going to give an F. What you think? You ain't Zimba? You ain't Zimba? Or Mustafa? You Rafiki. Guess who is Mustafa? Sean, you want to take that? Who's Mustafa on the Carolina Panthers?
Who's Mustafa?
You know. I know. I don't see skin color. I don't give a frack if he's African or not. Christian McCaffrey is the Mustafa of the Carolina Panthers offense. Am I wrong?
No, for years. Ever since
it goes through him.
Ever since he was drafted.
Cam Newton can be Rafiki. Just saying. Rafiki's dope, by the way. Just saying. Give us your tight end.
Evan Engram, New York Giants. As I mentioned, don't go chasing waterfalls. Don't go chasing last week's touchdowns. I know he scored a touchdown in 2 weeks in a row. 2 consecutive weeks. He's not even tight end one on his own team. He's pretty touchdown dependent for a tight end. Gamble if you want to, but I'm looking for another option.
Now, you guys know how Sean just ignored my nonsense. This is the beautifulness of the Cat Daddy. Part of Cat Daddy's job is reining in the big hush.
Oh.
He ignores the nonsense. He doesn't feed into it. Some others would be like, what is you talking about? And then I'd have to just go on. He just keep it on.
Just keep it
yes. on. It's complex. Legit. And this is why this shit works, son. I know I cussed again. Come at me. Ush Elliott at Instagram and Twitter. If you want to complain to Cat Daddy about Ush Elliott's nonsense, it's the Cat Daddy. Instagram, Twitter. Get us. Say something. I don't care. Cat Daddy, you got anything closing for them?
Just keep in mind everything that we're telling you is advice. What I tell you is how I would run my team, what I would put on my team, what I look for with my team. But that's my team, right? This is your team.
I'm going to be honest with you.
You do you.
Half the players I talk about ain't on my team. Because I can't have them. Because in this game, you can only draft certain players. I'm in competitive leagues. I'm sorry. I'm just going to put it out there like that. If you're not in a competitive league, you can come at me and I will make you a champion. I'm in one non-competitive league and I am beast in that league. I had 1 week where I started nobody. I took it now. And I'm still the number one team in that league. That's all I'm saying. So if you in a competitive league, hit me up. We can have a conversation. If you in a non-competitive league, hit me up. I will make you a champion. Hands freaking down. Say something.